Hi all, I'm Vishnu. Today we will discuss how to start with a TDD approach, test-driven development for a uh, given project or a requirement. And the requirement that we have is a credit card check algorithm. And this is our test case where 4 followed by 15 ones should give as a true and 16 ones should give as a false. The logic of building uh, a method is mentioned as a requirement over here. So let's start how we can start with the TDD approach. Let's go to Eclipse and create a Maven project and start with the JUnit. I'm selecting Java 11 JUnit and preparation. And as soon as I submit it, you can see the name of the project is the preparation, which I have just uh, keyed in. And when you see the pom.xml, it pulls all the required dependencies that we have selected as a JUnit type. And in this approach, generally in a development approach, what we typically will be doing is we'll be creating a class uh, because it's a credit card uh, uh, a method to test in a class. I am giving a meaningful name. The name of the class, let it be a credit card, and the method that we are going to test is valid card. That will take string as card, and that is going to return a, a logic. I mean, the logic that we are going to write once we write the test cases. So initially assuming that the logic is not been built up and hence it is stubbed with the false. Let's go to the test case and I'm going to copy all my values to a file which I say as a file and I'll say as an input.csv comma separated file where I'm going to say like this is my input. So I'll just say as a true and then false over here. And for maintainability point of view, we can say like expected value and then uh, given value as an heading of it. So if you go back to your logic of pulling the data where you are parameterizing the method, so the test is also parameterized and the input is from the CSV file sources where you are defining your resources are basically uh, from an input file uh, from which is input.csv and you want to skip the first line because you have included that as an heading. So inside this file, what you have written is you have an expected value and you also have a given value and you are going to use an equals method where you are going to call your logic for expected and because you have a class credit card you are going to say as an object of credit card uh, cre- credit card and you are going to test this method inside this an object we have a method called as a valid method where we are going to pass it. So So if I run the case now, you can see because the logic is not being builded, you can see one of, I mean, the first one what has been failed, but you can see that our logics, there are two test cases. One method we have written one method to invoke two test cases. Now let's go and write the logic. Over here, what we can use is we can take the value from here and we can use Java 8 streams logic uh, and we can test it. In order to convert testing to streams, we have a char method and I'm going to filter each value inside it to check whether like character is going to be my digit or not because I'm expecting if there are anything other than digit, it can also straight away filter it, which is an optional method. And what I'm going to do is also when it filter as a digit, the value of zero. I think ASCII value is different. It is not as same as a zero. So I'm going to subtract that value so that I get actual zero. And then for each value of it, what I got, every alternate number, let me go to the business requirement again. I'll just copy this business requirement. So what what they are trying to say is, uh, so they want to double the second digit. Um, so ev- every second digit. That means alternatively we have to double the digit, for which I'll be using a logic where I'm going to write as and in streams you can use only the final variables for which I'll be creating an array and I'm going to say like I'm going to toggle my value of 0. Uh, So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use a ternary operator where I'm trying to say like every alternate number should be multiplied with 2. So I'm going to create my final array inside it. Final tog as an int array, int array tog which is going to have only one element. Initially it is going to have 1 so that my the value is alternatively it is going to be flipped. And what I'm going to also do is and the values which are greater than 9, I'm going to check whether the values are going to be greater than 9 or not. If the values are greater than 9, then I'm going to subtract it with 9. So each value I'm going to take each value is greater than 9, then I'll be saying as I minus 9, else give me I. Uh, then then sum all the digits. So to sum all the digits, we have a function, ternary function called sum all the digits. So when I sum it, and they are trying to say is together if it ends in a 0. So to check whether it ends by 0 or not, if we divide it by you know uh, mod 10, we can see whether it ends with 0 or not. That will say like a valid credit card number or not. So this is going to be my logic. So now if I go to my test case, if I run it, now I'm expecting both the runs are successful. So you see the logic of writing the program in TDD approach is initially writing the test cases first and then building the logic nest. That's all for now. Thank you.